Think back to the last time you applied for a job. You spent hours editing your cover letter and resume. You tried to include as many keywords from the job description as possible, and you still probably had no idea if you were getting a call back. Now, imagine how much harder that job search would have been without a 4-year college degree. I'm Anant Kasturiaraman, the co-founder and CEO of Skillist. At Skillist, we're reinventing the resume and building a fairer, more efficient way for companies and job seekers to connect. For too long, our labor market has relied on arbitrary proxies like the 4-year degree as a measure of skill, and it's keeping companies and workers from connecting more effectively. Nowhere is this more evident than in the middle skill job market. Middle skill jobs, which the US Department of Labor defines as jobs that require more than a high school education but less than a 4-year college degree, make up the largest and fastest growing percentage of the economy in all 50 states. Some of these jobs are vocational, but a large portion are actually entry-level professional roles, like customer service jobs, sales jobs, administrative jobs, and coordinative jobs. At the last census, were over 60 million Americans who met this level of educational attainment. There are also 7 million middle-skill jobs posted annually each year, but more than half of them are going unfilled. There's a huge mismatch between demand and supply. Companies simply aren't able to connect with the talent that exists out there. To make matters even worse, by requiring a 4-year degree for many of these entry-level professional roles, companies are actually not only not connecting with the right people, they may actually be hiring the wrong people. Research has shown that hiring workers with 4-year degrees into middle-skill jobs can lead to higher churn, lower productivity, and higher cost. So companies are not only connecting with the job seekers who really want their jobs, they're also signaling to folks out there that they don't have the skill or the aptitude that they're looking for, even when they actually do. The way we see it, there are 2 major challenges with today's hiring market. First is a pipeline issue. Companies are relying on the 4-year degree system as their source of entry-level professional talent. So typically they end up looking either directly at universities, through social networks that are architected around the 4-year degree, or within networks of existing hires for their sources of talent. What makes matters worse is the second issue, which is a complete lack of standardization for recruiting talent. When workers apply, they typically create a resume that they think captures their greatest hits. But these resumes are all too often completely unstandardized and focus on highlighting where a person went to school or where they'd worked in the past, instead of what their skills actually are. This does a disservice to the worker, but also it does a disservice to the company, because companies are often deluged with resumes that are completely irrelevant and need to find a way to sift through all the noise. They typically end up building algorithms on this old degree-based system to highlight things like keyword searches or understanding of what a person's college major was or what their GPA was, instead of actually understanding if they have the skills needed to be successful. This creates a big mismatch for companies and also just doesn't help them hire the right people. At Skillist, we're trying to solve this problem for the companies we work with and the job seekers we serve in 2 main ways. First, we help expand the talent pipeline. For the companies we work with, we're able to get their jobs in front of the community organizations we work with, training organizations like Year Up, and community colleges like Bunker Hill Community College. We've also created a network of non-4-year degree job seekers. They know that by coming to Skillist, they can find jobs that match their skills. It's much more tailored and much more curated. Second, we've actually created a standardized job application process that is focused on skills and helps people highlight their abilities, makes it much easier for recruiters to actually find the people they need to hire. Here's how it works more tactically. It's simply an easier, more effective way to apply. We create simple, standardized job postings that clearly articulate the skills that people need to have in a given role, but also provide more relevant information to job seekers. Things like the salary they can expect, the things they'll be doing, the main functional aspects, all in a clean, simple, standardized format. We've also created a much more straightforward application process. Instead of asking people to dig into their word processing software and learn how to format and bold and italicize things, they're instead presented with the list of skills the company cares about and asked to provide examples that are relevant to the role. This is much more relevant for a non-4-year degree population, as it allows them to encapsulate all the different aspects of their life, the coursework they may have completed at the community college, the volunteer experience they've done, the different hourly and full-time jobs they've held. This is a much more comprehensive way to look at a person's ability. And finally, we've created an identity blind reviewing system. We really think this is the last critical piece of the puzzle. When employers log into our portal to see Skillist applicants, they can't see things like name, gender, or ethnicity. Instead, they just see the relevance of the skills for the people who have applied. And once they've selected a person to move forward, then they're connected with them. The reason that my co-founders and I are so excited about the solution is we've seen that it works. In past pilots, we've seen that over 40% of Skillist applicants were actually selected by companies to move ahead for interviews. This was a non-primed population of primarily non-four-year degree candidates applying for entry-level professional roles. To put that 40% into context, typically when applying to jobs, job seekers have about a 2% chance of ever hearing back. Our candidates who took the time to go through the Skillist process actually had a 20-time better chance of getting through to the next round. This is far better for our applicants, but it's also better for companies because they're getting a more relevant, curated pool of applications. As of last week, we're now officially live in the Boston area. We're working with companies like Wayfair, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and Harvard Business School, and partnering with community organizations like Year Up, the community colleges across the state, and Duet. We're looking to scale up our operations in Boston, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island over the coming months. We have a team with a deep background of experience in business, education, and product. We all came together because we believe in the mission of connecting opportunity to talent, and we see this as a great way to get the job done. We also have great backing from a team of advisors who understand the space in all aspects of what we're working at, and a team of advisors and supporters and investors behind our back. All that being said, we're thrilled to put America's skills to work. If you know any employers, community organizations, or strategic partners that we should connect with, please let us know. We'll also be demoing in the GSV Marketplace immediately following the session and look forward to showing you our platform in more detail then. Thanks so much.